Welcome, welcome. Welcome and thank you for joining me for this special class today. We'll get your week started off on hopefully a good note with a Breathwork for Focus class. In case we have not met yet, my name is Meg Townsend. I am a whole being guide with Prasada. I have been living and teaching the practices of breathwork, yoga, and mindfulness for over 14 years now. My 14-year anniversary happened on June, hooray. So I'm really glad and pleased to be here to bring you a practice. It's going to be a practice of breath work, but also some physical movement as well. Because sometimes we might have tension in and around our rib cage area and our upper back that might inhibit our ability to really experience more fullness of breath and our full breath capacity. So we'll start with a little breath work, do some stretching, and then get into a little deeper breath work practice. All you'll need today is a chair, and we'll sit in the chair in a little bit, and a little space around you to spread your arms wide. I feel like there was something else I was going to say, but that was pertinent for this moment, but I can't remember it. So if it comes to me, it'll come to me. Hi, everybody who's popping in. All right, here we are. That's what I was going to say. How are you feeling right now in this moment? Share that in the chat, 1 or 2 words to describe how you're showing up to this class. Because breathwork can change how we feel in our body. Breathwork can change our awareness, our mood. So it's nice to at least gauge for yourself your starting point. Share in the chat as well, because it's very interesting to see how these practices shape others. Somebody's starting off on Monday calm and happy. Lovely. Thanks for sharing. Anybody else, if you're open to sharing, type it in the chat. Not focused. Breathwork for focus. Let's check in with you after the session and hope this works out, or in a couple hours as you digest the practice. All right, so let's just get started with some breath of joy to get some energy building on this Monday at 12:30. So you'll step your feet a little wider than hips width. Bring your arms down by your sides. And so breath of joy is an arm movement that goes like this: arms up, to the side, back up, and down. Let's try that again. Arms up, side, up, and down. You can add a little bounce to the knees as you do it. One more time. Up, side, up, down. We're going to add to that the breath practice. So 3 nice inhales through the nose, and a big exhale out the mouth. Got it? So if you're feeling like scattered, anxious end of the pendulum, do it pretty slow and steady. If you're feeling kind of foggy, sleepy, kind of Monday dragging energy, do it a little faster to build some energy. All right, you've got those 2 options. I'll keep a moderate pace. Let's go 9 times together. Good, arms by your sides. Keep the knees soft. Take a slow breath in through your nose. Slow breath out of your mouth. And do that 2 more times at your pace. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. Beautiful. And slowly let your eyes flutter open. So welcome. I see we've got a bunch of people popped in as we are doing that breath of joy. So glad that you're here. So now we're going to do some stretches, different yoga poses to create a little more release and spaciousness in and around the rib cage and the upper back. As I said at the beginning, sometimes we might not feel the fullness or the capacity of the breath that we have because we hold some tension in the body. So we want to stretch it out before then getting into the deeper breath practices. So let's start just by waking up the spine. And as you move, this still is a breath practice, right? Because you're moving this breath initiated movement. So don't start moving until you start inhaling. Don't start moving until you start exhaling, and try to really coordinate your movement with your breath. Take a slow inhale, arms reach up towards the ceiling. Lift your chest, lift your chin, find a little arc in the upper spine. And then as you exhale, bend your elbows to 90-degree angles. Turn your chest just slightly to the right. Gentle twist for the upper spine. Slow inhale, bring it back to center. And exhale, twist it to the left. Inhale back to center, stretch the arms wide. Exhale, sweep your hands around behind you and either interlace the fingers or grab right hand to left wrist. And as you start to straighten the arms, hug the shoulder blades together. And again, lift the chest, lift the chin, and feel this expansiveness created across the front of your chest. Take 3 deep breaths into that space. Nice deep breaths in, feel the lungs, feel the rib cage expand. Exhale, zipping your belly to your spine. Good. As you exhale, slowly release back to standing tall. And again, deep inhale, arms reach up. Good. Lift the chest, lift the chin, find a little back bend in the upper spine. Then as we exhale, stand tall, arms to 90 degrees. We twist to the right. Inhale back to center. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale back to center, spread the arms wide and sweep them around to the low back. Interlace the fingers, maybe straighten the arms as you lift the chest, lift the chin. And again, feel this expansiveness created across the front of the rib cage. Fill that space with your breath. And as you exhale, slowly release. Back to standing tall. Now we'll inhale, arms reach up towards the sky. A variation here. Let's grab the left wrist, lean over to the right. Press firmly down through your left foot. Stretch up out of your left waist. And as you lean to the right, just feel this opening created through the left rib cage. Take 3 breaths into that outer aspect of the left lung. Good. Inhale back up to center. Now let's reach the arms forward and we're going to wrap left arm under the right. Your choice if you bring hands to shoulders, kind of give yourself a hug, or wrap your forearms more for like eagle arms. And then draw the shoulder blades down the back, spread them a little wider apart. And we're still standing tall here, but let's just curl into ourselves ever so slightly, just rounding the upper back. Bring awareness to that space around your left shoulder blade, left upper back. And can you breathe into that space? Good. Slowly unravel. Let's inhale back up to reach to the sky. Grab the left wrist. Take a slight lean to the right. Not as big as you did the first side. Soften. Maybe close your eyes and see if you can imagine you could really tune into the inner edge of your left lung. And see if you can send more breath into there. And come back up to center, arms by your sides. Pause here a moment. Take a few breaths and just notice left side compared to right side. Notice if you feel any difference, if there's any different sensation. All right, let's take the arms up again. Inhale. This time we'll grab the right wrist, stretch up out of the waist, lean over to the left. And so we're hoping to create this nice sense of expansion across the right side of the body. Imagine you could send all of your breath into the outer edge of your right lung. Good. Keep breathing. Inhale, arms up to the sky. Now reach forward. We'll take right arm under left. Your choice, hands to shoulders. Give yourself a hug or wrap your forearms. And then our shoulder blades, think of them like wings, pulling down the back, spreading a little wider apart. And you're still maintaining an upright position here, just a little curl into yourself. Bring awareness to the back of the right lung. Bring awareness to your right shoulder blade, upper back area, and see if you can fill that space with your breath, with your awareness. Good. Inhale, unravel. Reach the arms up to the sky. Last piece, we're going to grab the right wrist again, slight lean to the left, not as big as you did before. Soften, maybe close your eyes and see if you can bring attention to that inner aspect, the inner edge of the right lung. Breathe as though all your breath could expand there. And next inhale, come back to center, arms release down by your sides. Pause, breathe, and observe. Notice if you feel a little more space for your breath now. Right, if the eyes have closed, blink them open. One more movement in breath practice. And this will help us start to coordinate, continue to coordinate body and breath, and also start to build our inhale capacity. So let's look down at the feet. Make sure they're parallel, about 4 to 6 inches apart, right underneath the inner edges of the hips. 2 options as we get into this. If you'd like to add a balance challenge, you can raise and lower the heels as we do these arm raises. If footwear or just anything prevents you from lifting and lowering the heels, it's fine. Stay grounded and just do the arm raises. Right? So we start with our arms by our sides. Let's just take a deep breath in. So simple movement, kind of like Frankenstein. Inhale, raise the arms. We're going to take them all the way up overhead. And then exhale, lower the arms down. So kind of foundational, you might think this is not important. This is very important. So harness your awareness. Don't start moving until you start inhaling. Raise the arms up overhead. Don't start moving until you start exhaling, lowering the arms down. Okay, let's do that to a count of 3, and you'll count in your head. Inhale, 3 counts. Arms raise overhead. Don't worry about the exhale. Just exhale and lower the arms down. Let's do that again. Inhale, 3, option to lift the heels as you raise the arms. Exhale, lower the arms down. All right, let's take it up a notch. Inhale, 4. Exhale to lower. Lower the heels. Another inhale, 4. Exhale to lower. Lower the heels. Inhale, 5. Lower. Lower the heels. Another inhale, 5. Exhale to lower. One more cycle, inhale, 6. Last time, inhale, 6. Great, and just pause here for a moment, arms by your sides. Take a deep breath in. And a long breath out. One final aspect that we'll add to this, and notice, we've made yoga breath work, right? Because we're counting the breath, we're really conscious of the breath. Now we're going to add a slight hold of the breath. The only reason you wouldn't hold your breath, well, a couple reasons, if you're currently pregnant, if you have uncontrolled high blood pressure, or if you do it and it just doesn't feel right today, don't do it. Just keep going this inhale, 6, normal exhale, lower down, and kind of tune me out for the next minute or so. If you'd like to try, let's do one more 6 count, arm raise, just to get into it again. So inhale, 6. And lower down. So listen carefully. We're going to inhale 5 and at the top, hold for 1 count. Inhale 5. Hold the breath in 1. Exhale, lower down. Let's try that again. Inhale 5. Hold 1. Inhale 4, hold 2. Exhale to lower. Great, inhale 4, hold 2. Last one if you can, inhale 3, hold 3. Exhale to lower. We'll do one more like that. Inhale 3, hold 3. Great. Step the feet just a little wider apart, hands to hips. Take a couple slow hip circles. Keep your breath moving as you move your body. Change the direction of those hip circles. All right, come back to center. Grab your chair, find your way to a comfortable seat. So we've just done some moving breath work, and now we'll do some seated breath work practice. And so we'll begin with what's called pure breathing. Pure breathing has a couple different qualities that we're looking to create. We want the breath to be comfortably deep, right? So we've just done some movement to create more space for your breath. Just breathe to your capacity. Don't force it to be any deeper than it wants to be today. So we want it to be comfortably deep, smooth. So as we get into this, you might notice your breath gets shaky at certain points. Do your best to iron out those wrinkles, smooth out the breath. We want the breath to be continuous. So no pause after the inhale or the exhale, just this continuous loop of breath. We link each piece to the next. We want the breath to be quiet. So if someone's sitting next to you, they wouldn't know that you're doing this pure breathing technique. There's a quietude to the breath. And then finally, if it doesn't short circuit your brain today, it's helpful to count the breath. So we can create an even 1-to-1 ratio of breath, which for most of us is about 3 to 6 seconds for the inhale and the exhale. So if you comfortably inhale 4, exhale 4. If you can do 5, exhale 5. And so I'll leave some silence once we get into it. I'll leave a little space of silence for you so that you can start to create this 1-to-1 breath ratio for yourself. All right. That was the download, but I'll say all that again as we do it. So just make sure that you're in a comfortable seated posture. You could let your eyes soften, maybe even close if that feels comfortable for you. Turn your awareness to your breath. And first, just checking in and noticing the depth of your breath right now. You might even start that count. To see your breath capacity. And start to link inhale and exhale to each other. So you begin to create this continuous breath flow. Notice if there's any shakiness, any bumps or rough edges in the breath. As best you can, smoothing out those wrinkles in the breath. And then finally, and especially if your mind isn't feeling focused, this counting the breath is a really helpful tool in helping to focus the mind. So in your head, you'll count your inhale, count your exhale, and find that sweet spot where you've got that 1-to-1 ratio, that even breath. The inhale and the exhale match up. Anytime your mind wanders, guiding it back to this practice of conscious, pure breathing. Three more cycles, just like this. And after this last exhale, take a moment to observe your body, your energy level, the quality of your attention. Notice how this movement and breath work practice has affected you this afternoon. Notice if you feel any different, and note for yourself. Share in the chat if you are willing to share. How did this shape you today? Let us know. Thank you all so much for joining me for this Breathwork for Focus. It was a pleasure to see all of your names. Somebody's calm and ready to focus. Muscles feel relaxed, head clear. Beautiful. Less anxious. Lovely. Good, all good things to start a Monday. So thank you for joining me. So this is a foundational breath practice that can prepare you for more breath work, or very simply be a beautiful practice to support you, any day, whatever you need. And so practice this. I've recorded it. We'll have it on our resources. It'll be housed on our Facebook Live as well. Practice some of these things. Notice how they meet you in different places. Maybe sometimes you're anxious and it calms you down. Maybe sometimes you're sleepy and it wakes you up. Keep a journal of how it shapes you. But yeah, just keep breathing, keep practicing. And if you have any questions, I'm always here to support you. Meg@prasadawholebeing.com. So please feel free to reach out. This is our last special class of September. We'll be rolling out more classes for October very soon. So keep an eye on our newsletter, keep an eye on our web pages, and hope to see you next month for some of those. Until our paths cross again, please be well and have a great week.